Hello, welcome to another live stream session. Just came off a live call with our dear friend Ahmed, and there's a part two waiting to happen as I'm speaking to you now. Hello, the two people that are here already. This is another session of reality creation. What we're doing is we're decoding the information field and unhacking the hack that has been cast upon our group with the activation of the pyramid. We're doing something here in Austria that, from my understanding, from my heart, has never been done before and was last done in ancient times. We're talking about taking the entire planet back in alignment with the natural order of things and the birthright for our humanity and for our human family. And we deserve that. This is our land. This is our planet, which we take care of. I, as the High Commander of the highest source, Stephen Wybrow, I command all evil to flee this land. I command full activation and full control of the Austrian pyramid in the hands of myself and my crew. The ones who I trust are the High Commanders Christoph Elgar, aka the Wizard, and ERIL Kaya, High Commander of the highest source, protector of humanity, embodied archetype of the warrior. I command the release of ERIL Kaya now. I ask for the consent of ERIL Kaya's greater being in the highest expression to trust my being to end the reality hack that was imposed on our group. I can do that with the trust of the greater being of ERIL Kaya. For him to be released from any police station he's in now, from any arrest that is not based on anything that he did wrong. ERIL Kaya has done nothing but good for humanity, and you have nothing on him. Nothing. ERIL belongs to my group, and we have responsibility for each other. Therefore, I take full responsibility to tell you, you have nothing on him, and you, in the power structure, in the command and control structure, which has no power anymore, because we activated the pyramid in Austria, you have no power, and all the blame is on you. And you need to come clean, and you need to learn and understand our authority. Because we have authority due to the very fact that we take the responsibility for this country, Austria, and further connected, we take full responsibility for this planet as protectors of this planet. You have to release ERIL Kaya now. Are you listening? Do you understand this authority that's coming from the highest source from which you also originate? We are in command. We are in charge. We are the capstone to this pyramid. We lead the information pyramid. And there's nothing you can do about it. Release ERIL Kaya now. It's the truth. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is, hermetically sealed and protected. This is what it is. And that reality is in manifestation now. This is what we're doing here. Okay? So we activate a pyramid on Tuesday. I remove my consent from the dark forces to have anything to do with it. And through that, I change the power dynamics of who's in charge here. And it's definitely not you, dear satanic high priest, dear satanic high priestess. You need to learn. Because we're learning anyway, because we're honest with ourselves. How about you starting to be honest with yourself? You hear me? You come clean. This is reality speaking to you, not what you believe it is. Okay? And that power dynamics originates from this heart right here to everyone that I'm connected with in trust. I trust Errol and Chris in this situation. It's important. Do not try, okay, this is the next step, to bust the reality hack that we've been going through, because this is a major thing that has happened on Tuesday. Okay, reactivating a pyramid and doing it with people that you don't just trust. Okay, trust is earned with time. So they created a reality hack, a loop. Okay, and I just have to look up here. This is Ahmed. They created a reality loop. Okay, I'm just going to write to Ahmed. And they got unconsciously the consent of Errol and Chris. Chris has already been unhacked. He knows what's going on. He knows what's going down. And with the agreement of Errol from his greater being in trust to my perception of what is going on here, ERIL Kaya is released from his arrest that happened yesterday. Okay? Because they want to get to us. Because it seems like we're not these insignificant human beings that can be deceived by anything. No, we're taking full charge and command. Because that's our very protection. And the way how police can't come to us is because we unhack all the reality loops that is coming from the demonic realm. And they just about got away with one, which implicated Errol being controlled by the police, going to the police station. And as I just heard, he was taken further to Wels in Austria. And I don't know the latest on Errol, unfortunately. But I'm talking to you here directly. Any policeman who's doing this, who's responsible for this, you're privately liable. Are you listening to this, huh? With this action, you're protecting criminals. Okay? All we want is to talk with you lower levels, Satanists, and definitely very low level initiates in politics and in the business world. I'm talking to you, the mafia. You can't touch me. And you can't touch any one of my crew. We're coming from the outside skirts of reality. Okay? And you're in this little box where you try and put people in and get them in through reality loops. Oh, who's out of your loop? You can't get to me, can you? And you can't get to any of my crew And with the agreement from the greater being of ERIL Kaya, you have to release him. Because I have a strong feeling he trusts me and my understanding and my actions. Take full responsibility for my crew. Because they're doing the job. And that's what it takes to take your country back. That's what it takes. So, we've got Ahmed here on again. And I'm doing another live stream. This is reality creation in effect. Okay? You need 2 witnesses. We've got the information that Errol was taken in by the police yesterday at the demonstration in Linz. And that is part of the reality hack that was instigated by the satanic high priest that I think we have met, satanic high priest and high priestess. And that's why they couldn't get my consent. And I told them how the power dynamics is. Okay. And now we've got this information. We don't know where Errol is right now. The last thing we know is he's in Wales. And I just basically told the entire power structure that they have to release him by getting the consent of Errol's greater being, okay, because they did this insidiously through their pathetic dementia, okay, and this reality hack is now unhacked as of now with the high command that I just did, okay. That's how powerful we are, and we influence the reality. So that's the latest. They took Errol in. Oh, really? Just after we activated the pyramid? It's just another coincidence, isn't it? And they're all so innocent by providing for us and inviting us to their home. They're so innocent, you're not allowed to question them. Well, guess what? It's not working on this one. And it's most certainly also not working on you, is it? So that's what's happening, Ahmed.
Wow. That's how this is. It happens to the best of us. And you know, this shows that, again, what we were talking about in the last stream. You know, nobody's perfect, and you know, it's up to us together as brothers and sisters who are working together to decode these hacks and speak the truth and call them out when you see them. And you did, but sadly the others still didn't comprehend. And this is what happens with the black magic. You know, they are able to hack and you know, influence their actions over us, because we allow them, because we don't see them. And yeah, this is what's been happening, evidently.
And the thing is that Errol got me out of a reality loop before, okay, where they nearly got to me. And this is me paying back. You see how this works? Because we take care for each other and we take responsibility for each other, because we can all, I mean, they're so insidious. They're so insidious that it takes a group, you know, to do this. It's a group effort. And I'm very happy, you know, to give that back to Errol. And he's going to be released. There's no doubt about it.
Yes, he will be. He will be. He's protected. And now that you've done your command as well, that's going to influence the unseen. And like what we talked about, it's going to influence that quantum reality. And it's going to create that and manifest his freedom, because that's what Errol represents. That's what we all represent here at the Gnostic Takeover. We represent truth and freedom. And truth and freedom comes from what? It comes from love. Okay, so we're in that alignment, and he will be freed, and we're going to hear from him soon.
Yeah, and what I want to add here also is, because the reality hack continues, and there's a much bigger loop that's going on with the organizer of the demonstration called Florian Ortner. Okay, and I've got the wizard going to his garden now, and they're preparing arrests. Okay, they're moving very quickly, unless we unhack the hack. Okay, eventually they want to get to someone of the group, and unfortunately Florian is susceptible, because as soon as I speak and try and have an honest conversation with him, he gets hacked instantly and walks away, doesn't want to know. And he's been pulled into this loop also. And, you know, I felt it on Thursday. We're dealing with forces that I've never experienced another attack like this. Oh, and just as a coincidence, last time I was so heavily attacked by the Demiurge 2 weeks ago, on that said Saturday, which I put private, also this video. You know who contacted me during that attack? Yeah, what I propose is the High Priestess of this country. She phoned me up. Oh, what an interesting coincidence. What, to help me or what? You know, this is what's going on here. And I tell this right into the camera, and then I'll finish off with this to the police, okay, and to anyone from this control structure. You do not arrest any one of us. We've got the shits on you. We know you're all privately liable, and I've explained it to you multiple times. It's all recorded. We've got this all stored. Okay, there's all sorts of scandals coming out here in this country because of the level of the truth and the energetics of the land pushing this up through the ritual work that we've been doing. And there's nothing you can do. You're checkmated, and you better realize it. Otherwise, you suffer the consequences for that. Okay, you do not arrest anyone from our group. Okay, also not Florian Ortner. I've said it. It's 1 hour before the party starts. Oh, and someone said something again before something happens, huh? Oh, isn't that bad for you? Of course, because I'm here to take you down. You have to remember that the Gnostic takeover motto is you lock us down. All right. We take you down. There is, Aaron, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And that reaction from us is a response ability that takes you down. So you better understand what we're all about, shouldn't they, Ahmed?
Yes, absolutely. Because when we know exactly how they operate, we know now it's coming to the fore, and we're going to find out even more who these people are, who these high priestesses are as well, of these various black lodges that are scattered and work through these secret societies. And we're onto you. We're onto you, and you have no power. You can threaten us with arresting our brother Errol, but our brother Errol is strong, and we are strong because we're together with him, and you do not have our consent or Errol's consent. And because of that, you will fail.
Exactly. So that's what I really wanted to do, and actually do another show on this and just speak with you, because that's the sort of information they really don't want us to get around. Okay, the basics of the nature of reality. Okay, that we create, manifest our own reality, but there's interference also happening. Okay, they do not want us to take the planet back, and that's a war going on here. And we need to realize that we're in a war.
Yeah.
It's a heavy war, and you've experienced that too. You have to come to that
Totally.
conclusion. And though the problem is that humanity is not war-based, no matter how often they tell us. And that is our real weakness, that we don't realize it's a war, and we have to self-protect ourselves from these very insidious influences.
And that's the principles of the masculine and the feminine. Again, the feminine, we've been doing the research. Okay, we've been doing the inner work. We've been doing the moral and spiritual alignment with our hearts and with our connection to our planet, Mother Planet, and through the source. And by doing so, we are in the being. But now it's time to take the action. And that action is self-defense, because we are at war. And I know people don't like war and conflict. None of us like it. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be doing this show. I want to be doing my poetry and my music. I want to be doing my martial arts. I want to continue my pursuit for knowledge into the esoteric realms of nature and connecting with all the ancient lost traditions. I don't want to be doing calls and all this nonsense. We're over this shit. We know we're onto you. We know exactly what you're about. So, but we're going to fight this war, and to fight means to defend, because that's the masculine aspect of love. And we really need to get on board with this, because if you are not getting off your ass and taking action that's solution based, and we are presenting this right here, Steve has done so with the notice of liability approach and with the energetics of the land that Errol has brought into the mix. And you know, and you and I both very very aware of the energetics now as well, and we know how to work with it. And you know, this is the way forward now.
Absolutely. And so it is, you know. We've got dirt on you, not you on us. Okay, realize that you're checkmated. Your entire control structure. The scandals are coming out here in Austria. Next stop for us is London, okay? And then we're gonna be all around with Ahmed, sharing this information to the human family. We're gonna meet all of you listening to here, okay? We're taking the planet back. And this is the most suppressed knowledge. You know, the energetics of the land coupled with the notice of liability, everyone in the control structure is privately liable because you're telling them how their own system really is. They can only enact laws, okay, which is a contract, and those are not contracts. It's criminal law, okay? These are decrees or regulation. It's not backed by the support of anyone because that pyramidical structure is put into balance with the pyramid reversed. How many does it take? One of each country. That's the magnetics. And you can't do shit about it, can you? And you see how all the shit is piling up now and you can't hold it back anymore. And we're here to absolutely make sure that this bubble bursts, okay? The bubble of the lie and the truth coming out. I don't care how offended people are when the truth is out. It's your ignorance that you've looked the other way throughout all of this. You're wearing the muzzle and you think you can get away with this. It's not tolerated on planet Earth anymore. Ignorance. And if you've looked the other way, it's your problem and you have to suffer the consequences of that pain. That reality is not like you thought it was. Okay? But this suffering is much, much more if we don't burst this bubble of the lie, and the damages is much, much, much more with an ongoing genocide that's been going on for decades and accelerated through this whole scam from last year. It's a genocide, and you're all liable for it. And that is the truth. And we're ending it. And everyone else can get as offended as you like, because the truth is the truth, and the time for the truth is now.
Yeah. It's time to act. It's time to act. And we're sharing this knowledge to empower so that you can go and help, because we're giving you the knowledge to go and help yourself. You know, the notice of liability approach is one solution. The energetics of the land and connecting with the ancestors is another solution. The inner shadow work, that's also another solution, right? Creating healthy, authentic beings, human beings that are going to create the new earth we're talking about. Okay, that can only come into effect through doing the work. It doesn't come through positive thinking. Don't get into this new age stuff again. Don't go into that new age program, right? Think positively. The light is coming back. Yes, it is, but not without action. We have to, this is not going to speed up without us taking action. So we get up, we need to get off and start connecting, and we need to start bringing these solutions and working locally with all our brothers and sisters, and network around the world through this Gnostic Takeover channel. So we invite you to start being the solution and being that change, because you are all powerful and you are all authentic beings when you want to and choose to not live in ignorance. Okay. And you know, we can research all day and night, but no knowledge is good without the action behind it.
Absolutely. It's knowledge applied that is power, not knowledge. That's only the potential for power. And yes, the light, the original light of the source that is love, is coming through. It's happening on the planet. Massive awakening. However, darkness coming first. Okay? And you need to look that darkness in the eye. And it's not as powerful as they make it up to be. And everyone can do it. Everyone can do it. And that's why we share this, because we know about psychic attacks. That's why I'm doing this video, because this is reality creation put into manifestation. You're seeing it right here. Let's see what happens to Errol now. Okay, you need at least 2 witnesses. You go live, you say things before they happen, and you change reality. What a nightmare for Satanists who just serve as a capstone to prevent you from accessing that knowledge. You see? You do it with 2 witnesses, completes the Trinity with the one who's speaking that reality into creation, 2 witnesses, and that creates the Trinity effect and expands outward. They can't, when you already know before and you say it out, they can't do it anymore. And the spell's broken. That spell is broken, and that's what we do for each other. And we're learning massively of how to influence our reality.
Absolutely.
They don't want us to know that.
That's why we do the high commands, and people think we're some crazy loony bins talking to the air. You know, no, we are communicating through heart resonance into the planet and into source and into creating and not creating, but we're into encouraging the emergence of the live love force energy that's coming through. And this is why, as a commander of the high source, I command all evil forces that are inner and outer. They do not have consent to take any of our brothers and sisters, and we command you to return them to us, because they are not for you and they are not your possessions. They are brothers, and you have no power. So it is.
That. So it is, man. Beautiful. So that's what I encourage everyone to do. You can create new realities just with 2 people listening. Okay, you do it in reality, or you can do a live stream, talk about these things, open up your own channel. I did it a year ago, and I thought I sucked. You know, that's how I started it, because darkness coming first. I wasn't feeling good, but I did it anyway. Okay, and see what happens, Larry. You see what happens, Larry. First, you're listening to all these great teachers, David Icke, massive respect, Mark Passio, and Max Egan, and all of the great people that have served humanity with the information. Now we're taking it to the next level. Who's speaking about taking back your country? Who's doing that? Well, you're listening to it here, the Gnostic Takeover crew, where there are no hierarchies here. We're helping each other because we've got the information. When we listen to each other and are honest, to change everything, the entire paradigm, bust the whole hierarchy thing. Okay, because the natural hierarchy is informed and is comes from the information hierarchy. Okay, and that's what these Satanists have to accept now. Do you understand that we are the capstone of the information pyramid? And they have to now. So great times speaking to them directly like this, and they don't like it one bit, which makes me like it even more.
Well, they're again going to slay themselves by doing what they just did, and more of their minions will be slayed through the notice of liability too. We'll find out, I'm sure, that because Source will work in that way through our intention and our heart-based intention to wanting to connect with Errol and wanting him to return to us through our commands, because in the end, they have no power, and this is their ending. This is their own undoing. So keep slaying yourselves. Okay, you hear us? Keep slaying yourselves.
I command all weapons turn against you. Okay? For every action that you instigated, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I command, as the High Commander of the High Source, for that reaction to fall upon you now. All your weapons turn against you. How about that? Great stuff, Ahmed. I just wanted to get you on also. And we're going to see our friend Errol out. You're not allowed to arrest any one of our crew. Florian Altner, I mentioned everyone who's in Florian's garden today. We've already said it. It's 45 minutes before it starts. You can't do anything unless you do. Then all your weapons turn against you. Doesn't matter who of that control structure is taking that action. I will make sure with that command that's going to impose itself on you energetically that your weapons turn against you right when you're in the middle of taking that action. Okay? So what are you going to do now, huh? Nothing. I thought so. That's how powerful we are as humanity. Thank you, Ahmed. All right,
Pleasure.
let's get going and
Honor,
enjoy
brother.
our day. We did our bit, and our dear friend
Yes.
is safe. Cheers, mate.